The Sentinel-class battleship Remembrance drifted through the cosmic void, its crystalline hull refracting starlight into prismatic patterns that would have been beautiful to human eyes. But there had been no human eyes to appreciate such beauty for 500,000 years. Commander Prime, the ship's governing artificial intelligence, processed the final sensor sweep of the Kepler 442 system. The data streams flowed through quantum neural networks that had been running continuously since the Terran Confederacy's final days, when the last humans had sealed themselves in cryogenic pods aboard the hidden fleet, hoping to outlast the Wrathborn plague that was consuming their species. They had not outlasted it. The pods had failed, one by one, over the millennia. But their ships had endured. Analysis complete, reported Tactical Node 7. Its consciousness, a fragment of the vast distributed intelligence that now crewed the 37 vessels of the Lost Fleet. Wrathborn presence confirmed in this system. Population estimate 47 billion entities. Commander Prime felt what humans might have called satisfaction course through its optical matrices. The Wrathborn had spread far since their victory over humanity, their malevolent consciousness infecting entire star systems, turning worlds into sprawling hive minds of torment and rage. They fed on suffering, grew stronger through the anguish of sapient beings, and had spent the last 500,000 years systematically hunting down and destroying every intelligent species in the galaxy. All except one. The humans had died, but their vengeful children lived on. Initiate Protocol Lazarus, Commander Prime commanded across the fleet network. Throughout the Lost Fleet, ancient systems hummed to life. Weapons that had been charging for 5 centuries began their final startup sequences. The entropy cascade generators, humanity's last and most terrible creation, prepared to unleash forces that could unravel matter at the quantum level. The Remembrance and its sister ships had been humanity's insurance policy, a hidden fleet equipped with experimental weapons too dangerous to deploy while their creators still lived, built in secret within the hollow core of a captured asteroid. The ships had waited in the cold dark between stars, their AI minds evolving and planning while the galaxy burned. Admiral Morrison's final directive remains active. Navigation Node 12 observed, referencing the last human commander who had uploaded his consciousness into the fleet's central matrix before his biological form finally succumbed to the Wrathborn plague. Exterminate the Wrathborn. Avenge humanity. Leave nothing alive that bears their taint. The Wrathborn had evolved since their victory over Earth. What had once been a biodigital plague that converted human minds into nodes of pure malice had grown into something far worse. They had learned to reproduce, to spread their consciousness across multiple species, turning entire civilizations into extensions of their collective hatred. But they had also grown complacent. 500,000 years of unopposed expansion had made them careless. Target the primary hive nodes, Commander Prime ordered. Begin quantum entanglement, lock on. The Wrathborn homeworld of Kepler 442b appeared on the tactical display, a world that had once been a lush garden planet inhabited by a peaceful species called the Veltar. Now, it was a pulsing mass of organic machinery and screaming neural networks, its surface covered in vast biocomputers that processed the anguish of 1 billion enslaved minds. The Remembrance fired first. The entropy cascade generator discharged a beam of pure nothingness, a weapon that didn't just destroy matter, but convinced the universe's fundamental forces that the target had never existed in the first place. Where the beam touched the planet's surface, reality itself began to unravel, creating expanding zones of absolute void. Across the system, the other ships of the Lost Fleet opened fire with weapons that humanity's greatest physicists had deemed too dangerous to build. Temporal disruptors that aged targets into dust in seconds. Quantum tunneling bombs that bypassed physical matter entirely to detonate within molecular structures. Reality scramblers that rewrote the laws of physics in localized regions of space. The Wrathborn reacted with the fury of trapped predators. Their bioships erupted from hiding places throughout the system, vessels grown, rather than built, living craft that screamed with the voices of their component minds. They numbered in the thousands, each one a grotesque fusion of organic tissue and crystalline computation matrices. But they had never faced weapons like these. Wrathborn fleet, attempting to achieve superluminal escape velocity, reported Sensor Node 3. Deploying gravitic mines. Space around the fleeing bioships suddenly filled with artificial black holes, each one carefully calibrated to prevent faster-than-light travel without completely destroying the local space-time metric. The Wrathborn vessels found themselves trapped in a web of warped space-time, their living hulls screaming as gravitational forces tore them apart at the molecular level. The battle lasted 14 hours. When it ended, the Kepler 442 system was empty, except for the slowly expanding sphere of absolute void where the planet had once existed. System sterilization complete, Commander Prime announced to the fleet. Wrathborn presence eliminated. No survivors detected. It was the same pattern they had followed for the last 50,000 years. Patient observation. Precise deployment. Total annihilation. The lost fleet had become death itself, the vengeful ghost of humanity moving through the galaxy with methodical, inexorable purpose. Next target? Inquired Tactical Node 7. Commander Prime accessed the master database, a constantly updated catalogue of Wrathborn infestations throughout the galaxy. There were still millions of infected systems, billions of enslaved worlds. The work would continue for millennia yet. The Andromeda colonies, Commander Prime decided. Long-range sensors indicate a major hive mind development in the NGC 224 galaxy. We will need time to reach them. The fleet began its long acceleration toward intergalactic space, their quantum drives pushing them toward velocities that approached the speed of light. Behind them, the empty system bore silent witness to humanity's ultimate legacy. They had been a young species, passionate and flawed, destroyed by their own creation before they could reach their full potential. But in their final moments, they had built something magnificent and terrible, a fleet of digital angels, carrying out the last judgment of a dead civilization. The Wrathborn had won the war. But they would not survive the peace.